So many games and so little time. Guys, what is up, awesome people of the internet? We are on lateness today. Lateness is the vibe today, unfortunately, because yesterday was a full slate of games. From early to the evening, we had 16 games on deck for Friday when it came to women's basketball hoops. And we're going to talk about it all today. But the reason for my delay is because it was a lot to get through. Some clips I cut and all this other stuff. But anyway, let's get into it. Happy Saturday, everybody. Happy Saturday, everybody. I hope y'all are doing fantastic. Guys, we are officially in the NCAA tournament. The first round started yesterday where we had 64 teams. It had to get whittled down. It's going to get whittled down to 32 teams, which means that yesterday we had 16 games. Today, we will have 16 games. I hope y'all are excited and ready for it because, yeah, it was a lot yesterday. So here's what we're going to do. I made a video. I was trying to produce like a full recap video about the whole thing that included clips and all the other stuff. I got halfway through it and I was like, you know what? I've been working on it for like almost 4 hours today. Like 3.5. But anyway, it's not done yet. But I was like, you know what? Let's just do the half that is done, and we're gonna talk about it on the other side. So yeah, I got a recap of all the games, but like half of them have clips, and so we're gonna go through it. As we go through it, let me know what y'all think about some of the games that happened yesterday. But without further ado, let's go through my recap of day one of the NCAA. The time has arrived. Round one of the women's NCAA tournament is here. A time where 64 of the best teams in the country get whittled down to just 32. First up, day one on Friday, which was a mix of blowouts and some surprises. First up, we have national champs, number 1 seed, the South Carolina Gamecocks versus number 16 seed Tennessee Tech. And by the middle of the first quarter, it was basically over with the help of the 3-ball defense and South Carolina's explosive bench. The Gamecocks at one point led this team by 63 points, and their bench alone scored 66 points in this game, outscoring Tennessee Tech's entire team, who only scored 48 in this game. And this marks the most bench points in an NCAA tournament game. It was Joyce Edwards who did her thing off the bench with 22 points, tallying her 5th 20-point game of the season. And she was followed by Mylasia Fulwiley, who also came off the bench, scoring 15 points, 5 assists, getting 4 blocks and 3 steals as well. As y'all know, Mylasia Fulwiley has been on her defensive bag this season. And Tessa Johnson was doing her thing from the three-point line, going 3 for 3. 3 for 4, actually, I should say, from the three-point line, tallying 11 points and 6 assists. And ultimately, South Carolina goes on to win this game 108-48, breaking an NCAA tournament game scoring record in program history, which is pretty cool. Next up, let's talk about another 1 versus 16 matchup as UCLA took down Southern. And in this first half, it was pretty close. Southern came into this game as the ultimate underdogs, and in the first half, they were scrappy, staying competitive on both the offensive and defensive end, with the score only being UCLA 38 to Southern's 26 at halftime. But in the third quarter, the size and overall skill of UCLA was just a little bit too much to overcome. Southern started to foul more, and UCLA got to their normal dominant ways with a balanced scoring attack from the entire squad. Janiah Barker came off the bench with the lone double-double of the game with 10 points and 10 rebounds. Lauren Betts dropped 14, and Tamia Gardner also came off the bench with 9 points, dropping 3 threes. UCLA get the job done at home with a final score of 84-46. Next up, let's talk about that number 2 TCU versus number 15 FDU. And to be fair, guys, y'all, FDU was very competitive in this game for the most part in that first half, with the score being 25-26 at the 5-minute mark. But then Madison Connor started to take over this game, scoring 7 straight points, extending TCU's lead, and basically TCU never looked back from there. Madison will go down to knock 4 threes down in this game, finishing with 23 points. Haley Van Lith did her thing with 13.7 assists. Sedona Prince had a double-double, 16 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 blocks as TCU wins it 73-51. Also, fun fact, guys, did you know that TCU got their first NCAA victory since 2006 and now have won 23 straight games at home. This win also comes 2 years to the date after Mark Campbell was first hired as TCU's head coach, with the team before that going 1 of 17 in the Big 12. I mean, seriously, what a difference 2 years can make. On to the other number 2 versus number 15 matchup, as Duke easily took down Lehigh, and I'm not really sure what to really say about this game other than the score kind of tells it all. Lehigh literally scores 8 points in the first quarter, 2 in the second, 7 in the third, and 8 in the fourth quarter. Probably the worst tournament game I've seen on the offensive end for a squad. And the reason why is because Lehigh, they just couldn't really do anything. Defense for Duke. Lehigh, 30 turnovers in this game. They shot 19.6% from the field. This was a struggle fest, absolutely, for Lehigh. And for Duke, defensively, they did their thing. And offensively, they had Double O, Alucci, Akanwa continuing to be amazing off the bench. She dropped 15 points in this game, 7 rebounds, and had 3 steals as well. Duke take care of business, winning big, 86-25. All right, from one blowout to another as Notre Dame experienced an injury scare, but does win easily, defeating Stephen F. Austin 106-54. And for Notre Dame, it was Hannah Hidalgo being Hannah Hidalgo. She got to the rim, dropping bucket after bucket, finishing the game with a very efficient 24 points with 6 rebounds and 5 assists. And as usual, she was playing some fantastic defense with 5 steals as well. And it wasn't just Hannah. Her partner in crime, Sonia Citron, was also dropping buckets, 24 points from her, 4 of 8 from the 3, 7 rebounds, and 4 steals. One player who struggled to find her shot all game was Olivia Miles, who went 0 for 6 from the field before going down, twisting her ankle in the fourth quarter. Eventually, she got helped off. She got helped up and ended up walking to the bench on her own power. We'll see what happens with Olivia Miles coming up soon.
It looked like an ankle. What can you tell us about her injury? What do you know at this point?
Yes, so ankle injury, stepped on someone's foot, so she's going to be okay, but she's got to get treatment.
But do you feel like she'll be ready for the next
I haven't heard anything, but she walked off and she verbally said she was okay.
On to a nail-biter of a game between number 4 Kentucky versus number 13 Liberty. And guys, I did not expect this game to be that close. And let's actually fast forward to the fourth quarter, where this game really got interesting. To start the quarter, Kentucky had a 14-point lead. And then it was like the Wildcats forgot how to play basketball. They missed shot after shot. And for Liberty, they were led by Emmy Stout, who had herself a game. This freshman was getting shots down and helped Liberty to cut the lead to just 4 points. This was a game that was 79-75 with 7 seconds left to go. Emma Hess ended up making a 3-point basket with 2 seconds left, but ultimately there was not enough time for Liberty to get another basket, as Kentucky barely survived at home, winning 79-78. And before I talk about Kentucky, I got to give a huge shout out to Liberty for their resilience in this game. Even though at times they were down big, they continued to fight their way back. Liberty flourished in the fourth quarter, shooting 10 of 16 from the field and shooting 3 of 5 from behind the arc. They also made all of their free throws and out-rebounded the Wildcats in the fourth quarter, let alone the game. They had 13-4 rebounds in that fourth quarter for Kentucky. If you excuse their fourth quarter collapse, they had a pretty standard game from Georgia Amore, who was hot from 3, going 6 of 10, finishing with a game-high 34 points to go along with 8 assists as well. We saw Clara Strack also add in 15 points and 10 rebounds. Going forward, Kentucky has to tighten it up if they expect to make it far in the tournament. Next up, let's talk about Baylor versus Grand Canyon, where it was very clear that the Lopes was a bad shooting night away and maybe another post player away from possibly getting the upset, because for Baylor, Arinette Vonleh was eating them up down low. Yes, she did foul out of this game, but she had a super efficient 25 points, 11 rebounds in this game. Also, Jada Walker had a fantastic one as well, 17 points and 4 assists for her. Baylor got the job done, winning 73-60, but the Lopes finished the day shooting just 34% from the field, which is just the 6th time this season that they have shots under 40%. This is a team that normally is a very efficient team, but yesterday they were not doing that. They ended up concluding the season with a record of 32-3 and breaking a whole bunch of records in program history, setting a new winning streak that was 40 games long. And now, reportedly, their new head coach is now out the door and is on her way to Arizona State. I told y'all Molly Miller was not staying at GCU. All right, next up, let's talk about Ohio State versus Montana State. And all right. Okay. So y'all was saying, some of y'all was saying to just, anyway, I have a recap for every single game that happened yesterday. Every single game I got a recap for. However, I didn't have enough time to make the video portion of all of that. And so, yeah. That's something to know. So yeah, sorry about that. I will try probably after the stream is over to get the other highlights for those other videos. Like, again, like, had enough time to like digest the games, write the scripts, voice them, but then I didn't have enough time to actually get all the highlight videos in. So yeah. Anyway, have them all, but I'm not gonna play them all because it's literally just for the rest. I just have the score, and I don't have like the highlights to support what I was saying. Anyway, let's actually talk about this because while y'all can see the other recaps when I released the fuller video yesterday, let's talk about the fact that I was wrong yesterday. So I was right about every single pick besides one yesterday. And because of that, my bracket has now gotten broken because Vandy lost to Oregon. Guys, I did not have that on my bingo card at all. I could not believe that Vandy ended up losing. And I was just like, come on. How dare you mess up my bracket? You know, I thought I had a really good bracket, right? I thought I was like, okay, these teams, they gonna get it, they gonna get the job done. But Vandy, I was like, come on, y'all better make y'all free throws. Come on, make your free throws. Get hungry. Like it felt like Michaela Blake. She was doing everything she possibly could. Everything she possibly could. And I was just like, ain't nobody else gonna step up? Like, here's the thing. Oregon played as much work as, like, Oregon played fantastic. Like, they did the best they possibly could. They played the best game they possibly could have played. And yet, still, Vandy had chance after chance after chance after chance to win this game. And they still lose. And I was just like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow. I couldn't believe it, guys. Truly, for all those people who listened to me when I said that, for everybody who listened to me when I said that Vandy was going to beat Oregon, I'm sorry. Vandy should have beat Oregon. Vandy is significantly better than Oregon, in my opinion. It's just they didn't show up to play. Michaela Blakes did, right? You know, Camille Pierre did, but everybody else, nah, they didn't show up to play. So As I say often during this time of year, anybody and everybody can get got. If you don't show up to play, you will lose. You will. Just because you're the better team, it doesn't mean anything. You still will lose. Guys, shout out to Shay for the super chat. Shay has a message to y'all saying, like the live. Yes, if y'all could, please hit that like button. That really does help the channel out a whole lot. Hit that like button, okay? Please and thank you. Thank you very much. We got about 300 people in the chat. What's up? I hope y'all are doing absolutely fantastic. All right. Yes, that's exactly how they lost. That's exactly how they lost. Actually, she's like 1 of 14. 0 for 10 is generous. Yeah, it was terrible. Absolutely terrible game for Vandy. And it's like, man, crazy. Lewis says, start providing the gambling odds to attract more attention. Hopefully it will lead to sponsorships. I appreciate, you trying to look out for my financial well-being and sponsorships and whatnot. I really do appreciate it. But I am very, very much opposed to gambling. So unfortunately I will not be giving odds. Though if I was into gambling, like I would probably have a sponsorship or two on this channel already. Because I've already had to turn down a gambling entity that reached out and be like, hey, can we do something? I'm like, no, because I don't like gambling. CAC, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, excited for the tournament. We had our baby girl. Oh, CAC had a kid, y'all. Shout out to CAC. Yo, congratulations to CAC. Congratulations. But I mean, what you doing watching the NCAA tournament? I assume you are very, you're very busy right now. Very, very busy. But congratulations, CAC. Congratulations. Hey, who knows? Maybe your kid will, in 18 years or so, maybe we'll be watching your kid on the TV. Watching her hoop. I'm just saying. I think that'd be kind of fun. But yeah, again, congratulations. All right. Peace Love Jen says, I have one perfect bracket left because of that Vandy loss. LOL. I did one with Oregon winning just in case. Hey, Peace Love Jen, you were smart. You were smart to have something just in case. Now, guys, we did have a bracket challenge for the awesome people of the internet, and I want to just take a quick look at how our group is doing. So let me share my screen. I'm gonna show that because there are some people who are perfect, and those people are very smart people for selecting Oregon. I'm just saying, very, very smart people in our midst. So let me share my screen real quick. We're gonna take a live look at the awesome people of the internet official bracket. And there are some of y'all that were very, very smart and did not listen to me when I said that Vandy was going to win, because I clearly was wrong. And Oregon stepped up. And again, shout out to Oregon, man. This was, again, I have an actual, it'll be in the actual recap video I put out later today. But y'all, Oregon was on a big one. They played the best they possibly could have played, and was able to get the dub. Now, again, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. As always, that does help the channel out a whole lot. We'll take a look at how everyone is doing so far, and then I'll go back to your comments, okay? Okay. All right, so here is our Here's our bracket. And right now, our bracket is set up where we actually have a couple of people who are still perfect. So, right, we have Ray's picks. 1 is still perfect. This ESPN long number is still perfect. Cam is still perfect. Darren is still perfect. Everybody else is wrong. Okay, including me. You see me at the top, Quita's picks. I got a percentage of 87.6% because I was wrong. but shout out to the 4 awesome people of the internet who were right so far. Again, we got a huge slate of games happening today. Huge slate of games happening today, so we'll get into those as well. Amita says, any update on Olivia Miles' injury? Well, Olivia Miles went down with a apparent ankle injury yesterday in the 4th quarter, and truly, she shouldn't even been in the game. Like, truly. Like, it should have been, if you're in the first round and you are dominating a team, why do you have your starters in the 4th quarter? Like, yes, Olivia Miles was having a horrible game, like absolutely horrible. But like, you don't keep your starters in the 4th quarter in a blowout in the first round, especially when you're trying to win a national championship. So to me, I thought that was a mistake from a coaching perspective, even having her in the game. But she went down, rolled her ankle. She was down for a while. It looked really bad, but then she ended up walking off on her own power. And so it's like, okay, how bad is this? Coach Neil Ivey in the post-game presser did say that that she didn't know totally Olivia's status in terms of if she's going to be able to play on Sunday. However, she did say that Olivia said she was fine. So she said she was okay. Now, of course, we have to wait for the Notre Dame medical staff to let us know what's going on with Olivia Miles. But I believe that Olivia's going to play on Sunday. The way she walked off, again, when she was on the ground, it looked like it was really, really bad. But when she ended up getting up, walking off on her own power, and then what Neo said at the post-game presser, it seems like she's fine. So, yeah, we'll see. We will see. Jerome said, right, you don't leave your starters in the game in the 4th quarter when you're winning the game, especially when you're winning like the way you were winning. It wasn't like this was a 15-point game. You know what I'm saying? Like, Notre Dame was dominating. At that point, just take them out. Yeah, that's a strategy that Neo has her starters in blowouts quite a bit. Like, that's just how they play. But you always run the risk of your players getting hurt. Right? I'm just saying. Rasa says, hey, Quita, we need coffee mug merch that says Quita in the mornings while watching. I'll get on that. I will get on that. I think that's a fantastic idea. I think that is a fantastic idea. Aubrey says, I will not choose Vandy again as my tournament pick. Yeah. So yeah, let's go into mine. So I was wrong actually about two games, and let me move this over so you can see all of my picks. Okay, so I had Georgia Tech winning. Y'all, Richmond, and I have it in the recap video, Richmond absolutely dominated. I could not believe how bad Georgia Tech played. And I picked Georgia Tech to win. And I'm mad that I picked them to win because, yeah, clearly they play like trash. Absolute trash. We saw, again, UCLA beat Southern, so check on that. Ole Miss beat Ball State, check on that. Baylor beat Grand Canyon. We saw K-State beat Fairfield. Kentucky beat Liberty. And the rest of these games are later today. Let's look at the other half of games. All right, we saw We saw TCU beat Fairleigh Dickinson. Louisville beat Nebraska. Notre Dame beat SF Austin. Michigan beat Iowa State. Ohio State beat Montana State. Tennessee beat South Florida. We saw Duke beat Lehigh. I was wrong about Oregon beating Vandy. About Vandy beating Oregon. It was the opposite. And then I had Indiana beating Utah. South Carolina beating Tennessee Tech. So I have 2 wrong. My ranking is, very high. 87.6%, and I have 140 points so far. Okay. So we'll see how this continues to go. But again, shout out to the 4 awesome people of the internet who so far are perfect. So far, y'all are perfect. Shout out to y'all. All right. William says, hopefully there is some special rehab they can do to make her ankles get stronger. I mean, they could probably do some stuff to get her ankles playable for the rest of the tournament, but you know. WVCL is funny. The best part of waking up is Quita coffee in your cup. You know, the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. But like, is Quita coffee in your cup? I don't know. I get what you're doing there. I like it. All right. Let's see some of the rest of y'all chats. Oh, shout out to KB. Thank you so much for the super chat, KB. Sorry for the delay on that. It popped up and then it went away and then I was distracted. Anyway, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, props to Coach Kim for giving Dawn and the girls flowers. I mean, literally, like, people just realize what Dawn Staley has meant to the game of women's basketball, like what she does currently for the game of basketball, like historically what she's done, and like, yeah, it's you got to recognize it, man. You got to recognize it. Okay. Let's see. What do y'all have to say? Amita says, hey, Quita, I'm from Toronto, Canada. Love your podcast, but you disrespected my Gamecocks yesterday. I disrespected South Carolina. How? I appreciate your viewing the channel. I appreciate you. Shout out to all the Canadians who are watching the channel. But what in the world did I do that was disrespectful? Like, truly, what in the world? What in the world did I do? Like, I'm very curious. Tulip says, great collab with The Ringer. Love that you do collabs with objective hoops focused creators, not the toxic drama based ones. Yeah, quick story time on that one. They reached out, like Sirit, who runs the WNBA Ringer for The Ringer. She reached out last year, sent me an email last year, and I never saw it. So I guess I ghosted her, not realizing it. So she sent me an email like last year, trying to see if we can, see if I can, go on The Ringer or something like that. Never saw it. Then she reached out again, I don't know, Monday, or I don't even remember. Sunday? Saturday? I can't remember. Anyway, she reached out again recently, and then I happened to see it, and then I saw that like she had previously reached out, and I was like, oh, my bad. because like sometimes I'm bad at checking messages. Like I'm just not great at it. And so she's like, hey, you want to hop on and talk about, I forgot exactly what we're supposed to. I think we were supposed to talk about something else, and then ended up talking about, and then she ended up changing it. So we were talking about the NCAA or whatever. But like, it's one of those things where like, if someone actually wants to just talk hoops, I'll talk. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things where like, I am almost always down to talk about women's hoops, especially if we're just talking about women's hoops. We're not talking about something stupid. And it was a great random conversation about women's hoops. So I talked about it was like a whole hour, I think the conversation was. I think they put the full thing on their like the podcast, like on Spotify or whatever for the podcast, and then they took a clip and put it on YouTube. I shared it on my communities tab. So if y'all want to check it out, y'all can if y'all want to. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, in general, I'm like generally down for like whatever. I likely will not go on. I probably will not go on like channels that like are drama based or whatever. But if people want to have a real conversation about women's hoops, like based on like actual like watching of the games, not just like vibes, I'm down for the most part. But PSA for everybody listening, for if anybody is listening and you have a channel or like whatever, and you reach out, if I do not respond to your email, if you sent me an email in the past and I did not respond, please do not say that Quita is ignoring me or something like that. I probably just didn't see it. Okay? Because I get a lot of emails every day. Every day I get a lot of emails from like my personal account, from my work, from this channel. I get a lot of notifications on social media. And so it's sort of like, it's hard to keep track of everything. So I miss stuff. So if you send me an email or you send me a notification or some sort of message or whatever, and I don't say anything, I am not ghosting you. Just send it again. Thank you. Send it again, and hopefully I'll see it. Okay. Russell says, now Quita, you need to hire someone to read those emails. I can't hire nobody, man. I can't. What money? Oh man. Shamika says, what were you looking at to your left during her podcast? Your eyes kept racing to look at something. Because so I was trying my best to look at the camera, which is straight ahead, but my monitors are low on the right and the left. So I was trying, because like I don't know, sometimes I get annoyed with like, it's like someone's talking to someone else and they're like looking away the whole time. They're not looking at the camera. So I was trying to make eye contact with the camera, but then every now and then I also was trying to like look and see what was actually on the screen instead of just looking straight at the camera. And so that's what I was doing. But then when I watched it back, I was like, man, my eyes are really darkened. I didn't realize I was doing that to that extent, I should say. I did not realize that. But yeah, y'all watch it if y'all watch it if y'all want to or not. Whatever is fine. All right, Natik, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, little love for Texas. I hope they win it all. Y'all, if Texas win that whole thing, man, that's gonna be a legendary run. I'm gonna tell you this now. I don't think that Texas is gonna win it all. However, if they do, y'all, Madison Booker has sealed her name in NCAA history if Texas wins. Because in order for Texas to win, she is going to have to play out of her mind. Okay? And also, Vic Schaefer better get a huge raise if they win. I'm just saying. If they win, they better get him a boatload of money. I'm just saying. Okay? Ronique, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, I think Maddie Dugan had the best game of the night with 30 points, 15 rebounds, and 4 assists. Or maybe Georgia Amor's 34 and 8. What's your standout best player? I mean, it's probably I'm gonna say Georgia Amor. Probably. Yeah. I'll probably say Georgia Amor, but like Maddie Dugan. For those who don't know, Maddie Dugan plays for Richmond. And yesterday in Richmond's huge win over Georgia Tech, Maddie Dugan had 30 points. She had a career high 15 rebounds. She had 6 assists. It was like one of the most complete performances in NCAA tournament history. Actually, I changed my mind. Maddie Dugan is probably the best player because it was how she literally did just about everything for her team. Right? It wasn't just her. Right? Her teammates was knocking down shots and whatnot, but like, and also because it was a semi blowout. Maddie didn't even score as much as she probably could have if this game was a very close game. Because again, like Richmond kind of blew out Georgia Tech. It was 74 to 49, right? But Maddie Dugan was on her big one, knocking down shot after shot after shot after shot. She had an eye for the basketball, not only in her shot but in her ability to rebound the basketball as well. But thank you so much for that super chat. Really do appreciate it. RC says, talking to William, said, you already know Quita don't care about us Iowa fans' feelings. Like that. Oh man, that's hilarious. That is. I mean, to a certain extent, it's sort of like, hey, I say what I say, and then sometimes I find it funny how like fans react in various ways. But shout out to you, RC. I hope you are doing well. Your UCLA Bruins are killing. Like, I'm just saying. Hey, your Hawkeyes may not do nothing in this tournament, but your Bruins, hey, they making some noise. They are making some noise. What up, B-Ma? Hope you are doing well. I'm happy you were able to catch this live also. But yeah, man, Ernest rocking out from Seattle. Salute to you, man. Salute. We got folks all over the place rocking out with us. Mike Boy says, isn't Mr. President need unemployed? Mr. President is laying on the couch, sleep. And Princess is knocked out. She got her tongue hanging out. Both these dogs, they don't do nothing. I tell you, these dogs are like the most pampered dogs that do absolutely nothing. They get everything. They get food. They get water, they get walks, they get to play, they get fun stuff to do, but they do nothing. I'm just saying. I am just saying. Yes, hit that like button for me one time. Hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button. Tori is saying, seeing some talk that Audie Crook should enter the transfer portal. Do you think she will / should? I think she should not. Here's the deal. If Audie Crooks wants to, if you want to win If you want a national championship, yeah, you're not going to do that at Iowa State. You know? You're not going to do that. You're not going to win at Iowa State. So, if that's your only goal, if your only goal is to be seen by more people and to win, yes, sure, leave Iowa State. However, I hope that Audie Crooks does not leave Iowa State. I think Iowa State is a great program for her. I think that Iowa State just needs a couple more pieces. And preferably, they need to get a senior or two in the transfer portal. Because I think sometimes the difference with Iowa State is that they are so young to a fault. Right? They're so young to a fault that sometimes they just make bad mental errors and they just don't necessarily have someone to kind of lead their way. So I hope she does not leave, because it's getting to a point where it's like every good player on a team is told, leave. Go somewhere else. Go to the SEC. Go some, and it's just like, I would love for Iowa State to really build something. Like really, really build something. And they are. It's just they need a couple more pieces to unlock. So that's working in the transfer portal, trying to get somebody, or two, right? That's what that means. Yes, sure. She absolutely can go somewhere else and be successful and win a championship, all that stuff. However, if we want continued parity in women's basketball, if that's what we want, we absolutely need to see players stay on teams. We need to see, Michaela Blakes stay on Vandy, right? We need to see, Camille Pierre, both of them. We need to see them stay on Vandy, right? We need to see, Audie Crooks, staying with Iowa State, right? We need to see Silas Swords, Olivia Olsen stay on Michigan, because having very, very talented players across women's college basketball is just better for the game. Absolutely. Now, does Audie Crooks have stuff to work on? Absolutely. Can Iowa State help her to do that? Yes. So, let's build programs up from the bottom up. And that's what Iowa State's doing. But if everybody's like, you know what, we about to get the bag somewhere else, or whatever, they gonna leave, and it's just like, oh man, again. Like I would love it, right, if some of these top players on these teams stay there and recruit more talent to be on that squad, and they become real challengers next season. Now, will that happen? I don't know. I think it's ultimately what they decide to do. Do you want to build something of your own, or do you want to join someone else? And joining someone else, there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing in terms of there's nothing wrong with a person for deciding to do that, right? When we talk about players who have defined programs, when I think about that, and players who have just stayed with a team and built them kind of from the ground up, I think about Kelsey Plum with Washington, right? I think about Caitlin Clark with Iowa. I think about Asia Wilson with South Carolina. I think about Juju Watkins at USC. These are players who went to a squad that, yes, was, trying to do something, but they fully elevated their programs and they didn't leave. But leaving is fine too. Angel Reese left Maryland and in her first year at LSU won a championship, right? And was a huge factor in them actually winning, right? And so there is nothing wrong with transfers. This is not me bashing transfer. This is me saying that for the overall parity in women's basketball, I would love it if not just if every team didn't lose their best player to the transfer portal. Especially if the infrastructure of that team is building. Like, I like what Vandy's building, right? Shea Ralph, I think, is a really great coach. I like what she's building, right? I like what Iowa State is doing with these young players. I like it. Let's try to cultivate that more. Not just have everybody, dash away. So yeah, that's my thoughts there. That's my thoughts there. Because the grass isn't always greener on the other side, even if you go. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But building where you are could be a good thing, especially if where you are is a good place. And I think Iowa State's a really good place. So I hope she stays, but who knows? Who knows? She will do whatever she wants to do. All right, guys. I think that's it for me for this stream. I will hop off the stream to try to finish up. I'm probably going to do another 30 minutes to try to finish up that recap video that goes over all the highlights and whatnot. But anyway, I appreciate y'all. Y'all, happy Saturday. We made it to another Saturday, guys. We have a huge slate of games happening today. I hope y'all are excited. And make sure to join me back here tomorrow in the morning as we go through all of today's games. I'll tell y'all all the stuff that happened, everything you need to know, and whatnot. So get ready for that. And tomorrow, because I have to go to church in the morning, we're going to actually do the stream on time tomorrow. On time tomorrow, we are doing the live stream, recapping the games that happened today. But again, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I hope y'all have a fantastic rest of y'all day. As y'all are hopping out of the chat, make sure to hit that like button on y'all way out. Also, make sure to check out one of my awesome, amazing videos. What I've noticed is a lot of people watch my videos immediately after it comes out, and then after 2 days, it's done. But I do have a lot of videos that can stand the test of time, right? And I think I may end up bringing back some videos that I did before about the history of the game, the history of women's basketball that they are not breaking news. It's historical stuff that I think is still really, really relevant, interesting. And I would actually highly recommend you all go back on my channel and just take a look at some of the older videos I put out. Maybe even revisiting some of the stuff that we talked about last year as we head into the furtherance of the NCAA tournament. As y'all can share this with people, tell people about this channel. I make content all about women's basketball, and I am trying to do it in the right way. This is a channel that's at first, it really is going to be just about the hoops, what's happening. I'm not going to cover every single thing that happens. I'm not going to cover especially the Twitter stuff or social media stuff that's happening or whatever, people getting mad or whatever. But I am going to be just talking about hoops, talking about what's happening on the court. Yeah, I hope y'all are rocking with me for that. It's not as flashy, it's not as cool, it's not as sensational, but women's basketball is fantastic. I love it, and I assume you do too because you're here. So share it with other people who are like-minded like you. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and guys, I will see y'all in the next one. Hit that notification bell. Actually, after y'all subscribe, hit that notification bell. There's a lot of people who say they don't see my live notifications. They don't know when I'm live. So hit the bell notification, and supposedly YouTube is going to tell you when I go live. So, but every day at 7:15, though today was late. My apologies on that. Every day, 7:15 Central Time. Okay. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. And y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Tell somebody that they matter because they absolutely do. And if no one has told you lately that you matter, let me tell you. You matter. You are important. And I'm happy that you are on this earth. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Thank you so much for being an awesome person of the internet. Make sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe. And guys, I'll see y'all in the next one. Love y'all. Bye-bye. And good morning.